direction. Okay, now the thrust will be from the bottom side to the up. Okay, I'm showing it here, but it will be basically from the bottom of the bridge to the upside. Okay, and on, so it will be, so this load will be there on this wall. We may call it as a wall. Okay, so or the top slab. Okay, so it will have a dead load of this structure and the live load over here. Okay, so here it will be dead load plus live load. Okay, and here this one will be the thrust. Okay, and from this side, from the lateral side, on these lateral walls, can you imagine the lateral walls? What will be the forces on these lateral walls? So these are the lateral walls. Okay, so on these lateral walls we will be having the forces of the soil or the backfill. Okay, you can see here, so something is filled, right? Okay, this part is filled. Okay, so that, so again, so here on this wall, this particular wall. Okay, so here also the backfill will be there. So here also backfill will be there. Okay, now, so these are the forces which are from outside. Okay, from the outside of the box culvert. Okay, now what are the forces which will be from inside of the box culvert on the walls? Okay, so the first one will be the, see, let us say water is coming along this direction. For example, let us say the flow of water is in this direction. Okay, now, so how will be the pressure distribution here? The pressure distribution will be like this. It will be in the form of a rectangle. Sorry, not rectangle. It will be in the form of a triangular loading. Okay, so likewise on this wall also the force will be distributed in the form of a triangle. Okay, so here, and what will be the direction of that force? So the direction of that force will be like this. So it will be like this. Okay, so similarly this one. Okay, so it will be throughout this wall, throughout this inner side wall is there, this one. Okay, and this side. So if you see, or let me use some other color. Okay, let us say this is the cross section of the box culvert. Then the loading will be like this, and it will be like this, the triangular loading. Okay, so it will be, the arrow direction will be this in this side. Again I am drawing, see, this will be the direction of the force due to the water. Okay, now this dead load, again this load or this backfill, the load of this backfill, it will also act as a triangular load on the side walls. Okay, similarly on this side as well, it will be acting as a triangular load. And what about the dead load and live load here? So the dead load and live load, they will act as uniformly distributed load on the top slab. What about the thrust? The thrust, it will be acting, or let me change the color. Let us say this one. Okay, so the thrust, it will act as a uniformly distributed load on the bottom slab. Okay, so this is how the analysis and the design. Okay, so we need to design this one, this top slab, this bottom slab, and the side slab as well. Okay, the design of the box culvert is the simplest one among all the other kinds of bridges. Okay, so your so those who are weak in studies, for them I am saying this one, that there will be design problems. Okay, so almost everything will be designed in your end semester exams. So if you are able to do the design of this box culvert easily, you will get 10 marks. Okay, short questions will be very easy. In short questions you will get 10 marks, and in this one long question you will be easily able to fetch 10 marks, that is for sure. Nobody can deny these 10 marks or 10 marks. Okay, so easily you can see, only if you learn this design of box culvert easily you will get 10 marks. And the short question, I assume that you know all the short questions. So 10 plus 10, 20 marks. And some other design problems, let's say if you learn the design of let us say another design and another design, three designs. If you learn the three designs, you can easily work on that. Okay, so see here. So here, this one. So the box culvert part, it is done. Okay. So the box culvert redesign is only subjected to IRC class or Road Congress. IRC we call it, Indian Road Congress or Road Congress. So it is IRC class A8 tracked vehicle only. Okay. Now, what is a tracked vehicle? The tracked, or else let me go here. So the tracked vehicle, I'll just clear everything. Okay, now what is a tracked vehicle? So have you seen tank? Okay, or let me open this one. I'm closing this. IRC TRAC tracked vehicle. HIVE. See, see this one. Okay, so this one, it's not okay here. IRC, yes, see this one. So we have, this is the IRC tracked vehicle. Now, all see, this is this question has been asked lot of times in the exams. What is the weight of IRC class A8 tracked loading? So the answer is, it is only 700 kilonewtons. So this 700 kilonewtons has been an idealized. Okay, so this is a tank, a war tank, a Indian war tank, which we use, okay, during wars. Okay, so this one is the ultimate load or the maximum load a bridge can get. Okay, so generally we design a bridge for this 700 kilonewton. Okay, so IRC class AA loading. See this one. Okay, in your PDF also, in your syllabus also, it is given design of box culvert subjected to IRC class AA loading. Okay, so here it is the IRC class AA loading. So this one is the train, or sorry, this one is the track of that one. Okay, you might have seen. Okay, or if Indian tank, or let me write war tank. Okay, so this one. So this is the idealized IRC AA loading. Okay, so this kind of tank is idealized. So you can see this one is the, so here this one, these are the chains of that one, or these we call it as tracks. Okay, this is track one, this is see, this is the track one and this is track two. Okay, so that has been idealized here. Okay, so this is track one, this is track two. So this whole 700 kilonewton will be transferred as 350 kilonewton and 350 kilonewton. Okay, and this distance is the total length which is in contact with the surface of the earth, that is 3 point, this is 3600, is 3600 mm. Okay, so it becomes 3.6 meters, and the overall distance from the front to the back. So if you see here, the overall distance from this end to the back end of this tank, this has been taken as 7.2 meters. Okay, so we will be designing a box culvert which will be having a equivalent load of 700 kilonewton. Okay, so this design part will be always interesting for you. Okay, and in your entire bridge engineering syllabus, this part is the most easy part to learn. Okay, in the second one we'll go to the design of deck slab bridge. Okay, now deck slab bridge, see, okay, so let me visit that one. I don't know whether it will be, so since it is in Facebook, done. Yes, see this one. This one is a deck slab bridge. Okay, let me copy image, don't save. Okay, now uh, all of you please pay attention. Okay, so let me, before we go to the design, and let me explain you something regarding this one. So all of you, I think all of you have seen this kind of bridge structure. So this one we generally call as a, what is this one, deck slab bridge. Okay, deck slab bridge. Okay, so here this one is the deck slab, this top one. Okay, so basically here we have one abutment, here we have another abutment. Okay, and on these two abutments and this center one, these are called as these are called as sorry, these are called as the piers. Okay, so these are called the piers, these are the abutments. Okay, and this one is the bridge which is placed over the abutments, piers, and the yeah, the abutments. So what it does, it provides a cross drainage structure. So it is a kind of, it is a cross drainage structure. Okay, and So the traffic, the direction of this traffic, it may be from this direction, it may be from this direction. If it is a if it is a single lane, then it will be this one. If it is a double lane, then or double traffic will be there, then traffic can go from this side to the other and this side to the other. Okay, so basically what it does is um, uh, the load, whatever load, let us say we have a vehicle over here. For example, let us say, I beg your pardon, my drawing is very poor. Okay, let us say this is a bridge, sorry, this is a vehicle which is going. Okay, so what this structure does, it transfers the load of this vehicle and the dead load of this one through the bearings. Okay, so here there are something which is called as bearings. Okay, so I'm again, see here something is there that is called as the bearings. Okay, so these are the bearings. Okay, so the what is the function of the bearing? The function of the bearing is simply to transfer the load from the deck slab part to the abutments. Okay, so the forces will be like this. So they only transfer the force from the up to the down. Okay, to the foundation. Okay, now we have in a bridge, we have, or a bridge is generally divided into two structures. Okay, or two parts. Okay, so the first part is called the first part, it is called as the superstructure. So now which part is superstructure? So if you draw a line which will pass through the bearings, okay, if you draw this, then the part which is above this line, okay, these are called as the superstructures, and below this bearing, these parts from here till the basement, even till the foundation or till the piles. Okay, this part we call as the substructures. Okay, got it? So now you can see here that here there are some joints, here also there are some joints. Okay, so these joints are given as the expansion joints. Okay, so generally the concrete or RCC, it expands, so that's why we generally give the expansion joints over here. So small, so like you might have seen, whenever you will be crossing a bridge, any kind of bridge, you will find that the there is gap between two slabs. Okay, so those gaps are given as expansion joints. Okay, next one. So this top one is called as the bridge deck. Okay, and this one, the side walls or side railings or whatever it may be, you may call, so those are called as the parapet walls. Okay, this one I told, or I told that this part, this one, this one, and this one, so these are the bearings. This is the center, the one which is not at the ends, okay, which are here. So there may be more number of piers as well. Okay, so those are called as the piers. This one is the pier foundation, and here depending upon the soil condition, soil characteristics and all, we may have the pile foundation here. Okay, and this one is called as the embankment, and the okay, and this one is also called as the embankment, and this structure, this one is called as the wing wall. Wing wall. You might have seen this kind of structures earlier whenever you are visiting the different places. Okay, or whenever you are going to different places, you might have seen this one. Okay, so let me show you some other kind of deck slab bridge. See, okay, okay. So I hope you can see this figure over here. So this one is a minor deck bridge, they call it. Okay, and so here you can see. So this one. So here we have the embankment. Okay, and so here this one doesn't have any wing walls as of now. Okay, but means those wing walls and all, it is not visible now, but it is there. Okay, so this is one pier and this is another pier. Okay, this one is the parapet wall. So copy image, I'm again pasting it here and I'll show it. See, so this one, these ones are called as the uh, these ones are called as the parapet walls. Okay, or these are called as the parapets. Okay, so the vehicle, it may travel from this side to the other or from the other side to this one. These are called, what are these called? These ones?
Yes.
Piers. Okay, and water, it may travel from this side to the other. Okay, so I hope so. Now this is not a box culvert. Okay, this is not a box culvert. This is a minor bridge deck or minor deck slab bridge. Okay, this is not a box culvert. Please remember, you need to distinguish between what is a box culvert, what is a deck slab bridge, what is a railway bridge, all those things you can see here. Okay, so deck slab bridge, then we have beam slab, T beam bridge we have. Okay, so here also again we will discuss about the general features, the design of interior panel of the slab using Pigot's method. Okay, and the design of a T-beam bridge subjected to IRC class AA tracked vehicle only. Okay, so here see, if you are able to understand and do the design of box culvert, the design of deck slab bridge, and the design of beam slab bridge, easily you will get 30 marks. No doubt in that one. Okay. Next one is, see, from all the units, definitely one question will be there. Okay, definitely one question will be there for sure. Okay. Now in the third unit, we have the plate girder bridge. Okay, and this plate girder bridge, okay, or yeah, let us go see a plate girder bridge. So this plate girder bridge is generally basically for a railway bridge. Okay, now let me show you what is a plate girder bridge. Okay. Hmm. Let me open the images for that one. Okay, this one. Okay, so here this one is a plate girder bridge. Okay, I hope all of you can you see this figure? This one is a railway bridge. So let me copy image. Okay, so see. Okay, so here this one is a plate girder bridge. So here you can see we have on the two sides we have two different plates. The one is here. Okay, let me take some brushes over here or inks. Okay, yeah, this one will be enough. Okay, so this one is a plate, and on the opposite side, this side, we have another plate on the other side. Okay, so this, let us say this is the left side, the other one. Okay, on the right side as well, we have a plate. Okay, plate garter. Okay, and here you can see, so how this left side one and the right side one, they are connected with these cross bracings. So here, so here, uh, so here, so okay, no, it is not coming. Okay, so here you can see below this we have, so below this you can so below this we have the cross bracings. Okay, so like this bracings have been made. Okay, so similarly here we have the stiffening girders. Okay, and see all these joints, all these. Okay, what is this one, this welding kind called, whether it is a rivet one, whether it is a bolted one, which kind of rivet? I am asking questions to the lateral entry students who are here. What is the kind of joint this one? So, or how these plates have been joined? Which kind of connection is this one? Whether it is a bolted one, whether it is a riveted one, which kind of joint is this one? Someone said something. Please come again.
Bolted joints.
This is bolted. Huh?
I think so.
I'm zooming. No. Now can you see it properly? Whether
Yes,
it
sir.
is bolted?
No, sir.
Is it bolted or it is riveted?
Riveted joints.
Okay. So this is a or this, generally this kind of bridge we use for heavy loads. So what are the heavy loads? So which are the trains. Okay. For railway bridges, we generally go for this plate girder type of bridge. Okay. Another plate girder bridge can be also there. So let me check whether it is there pictures are there or not. Mm. See, inside it will be like this, the steel plate girder bridge. Okay, okay, this one is a plate girder bridge for the railway one. Okay, so these are somewhat more complicated in comparison to the deck slab bridge and others. Okay, now the next one is the bearings. So as I said, the bridge bearings are the structures which are, so the bridge bearings are the structures. So here basically we have the design principle of steel rocker bearing. Okay, and steel rocker bearing only. We don't have the design of elastomeric pad. Okay, so only the design part we will learn is here, this one, the design of steel rocker bearing. Only one example or only one design we need to learn. Okay, so the bridge bearings are the structures which generally connect the superstructure with the substructure. Okay, and what is their function? Their function is only to transmit the load from the superstructure to the substructure, that is to the foundation. Okay, in the fifth unit you will be introduced to the piers and abutments. Okay, so here we have the general features. What is the bed block? What are the materials for piers and abutments? What are the types of piers? Forces acting on piers, stability analysis of piers, general features of abutments, forces acting on abutments, stability analysis of abutments. What are the types of wing walls? Whatever we have studied, approaches and all. Okay, and here we don't need to. So only here we don't have the design part. Here we have the design of the this structure only. Okay, means the it is and this bridge bearing, the design of bridge bearings, it is a separate carrier. Okay, so even people they do a carrier in this one. Okay, so only we will learn the 0.1% of the bridge bearing. It is very less. Okay, because these are a separate study. Okay, so here in the bridge engineering part, we have touched only very basic concepts of the bridge bearings. Okay, so in the first one you can do the design. So what are the course outcomes? So after this you can give a rough design estimate for a box culvert subjected to ISA class A loading. You can also give the design of deck slab bridge and beam slab bridge. Okay, in the third one you can give the design of plate girder bridge. In the fourth one you can differentiate between the types of bearings for different types of bridges. And in the fifth outcome, you'll be able to differentiate between piers, abutments and their types, including the forces and stability analysis of abutments. Okay, now we have some textbooks and reference books here as well. Okay, so the most common textbook is DJ Victor. Okay, so D Johnson Victor. So it is the Elements of Bridge Engineering. This book is available in the library. You can easily get this one. Okay, and the next one is by Vajirani and Rathwani. That is the design of concrete bridges. It is by Khanna Publishers. Okay. Next one is by VK Raina. That is analysis, design, and construction of bridges. This is from the Macro Hill publication. Okay. And uh, the most common one is by designer bridges N. Krishna Raju. Okay, even this one, I don't know whether it is there or not, but it is a very good book. Okay, that's it. So I hope all of you are made aware with the syllabus of the bridge engineering, and we will learn about this one in the coming classes. Okay, now uh, quickly please tell your roll numbers. Okay, so